Hey, how's it going? So I'm at home. I finally have a day off and some downtime, and I'm just trying not to think about my EP coming out in some hours. Um, so I was trying to think, okay, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do to pass the time? And then I was like, I remembered I was going through some of my posts, and I remembered there were some questions that I never got around to answering, or I never answered to my satisfaction. So I was like, okay, I'll just go live and answer them here, even though going live kind of terrifies me. Wait, what's that? Oh, go away. I'm busy. Okay, so questions. One of the questions was, oh wait, no. Oh, let's go with that one. Okay, so someone asked, when did you know you wanted to practice and perform opera? And that actually, conveniently enough, happened at the same time. And by the way, if you're, well, actually, I want to see if I can see the comments, if anyone's commenting anything. I think I am on the right screen. Let's hope that works. Someone say something, and then I'll know that I can see what's showing up. And in the meantime, I'm gonna answer the question. What was it? When did you know you wanted to practice and perform opera? Oh, they happened during my first opera. Because the first opera I saw and the first opera I did, conveniently enough, they're the same opera, and that happened at the same time. It was Le Nozze di Figaro. It was the Marriage of Figaro, and I did it in college. It was my first. So I'd never seen an opera before. I'd never seen like an opera orchestra. And ooh, there's a question in there. Okay, wait, I'll get there in a second. Maybe. I just don't want to be here for 30 minutes answering questions, and that's gonna be a tricky one to answer. Okay, but back to the one I was answering. First opera, Le Nozze di Figaro. Okay, so I'm in college and we're doing Le Nozze di Figaro. I've never seen like an opera orchestra before. I'd never seen an opera in real life before, or actually at all. And so I'm sitting like right next to the orchestra, and they were like, okay, we're gonna go through and work through the overture. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm sitting right there, and I get to hear the orchestra for the first time. It was exciting, whatever. And they start going through the overture, and it goes. They're like, some of these notes are gonna be wrong. I don't care. They're like, and I was like, yes! I was hyped! And I was like, but like all my colleagues are there, so I had to like play cool. And I was like, oh, they sound really good. That's good. But yeah, that was one of the more magical moments for me. But that wasn't. I wasn't even completely sold then. What pushed me over the edge was when I did when. My first bow so if you've never seen an opera before, the opera singers come out at in different times depending on the roles at the end to bow, and depending on who they were in the opera, people will either like cheer louder or clap louder, or just stay at the same polite, or they will actually boo very often. Well, not very often, but it happens for good reasons, but that's another story for another day. What was I saying? Oh, but the first time I walked out, and the applause kind of like spiked for me, and I kind of like, I was young and I kind of milked it, and I was like, yeah, all right. And they're like, ah. I was like, oh hell yeah, okay, I'm in, I'm sold. So I think the combination of those two happening with that same opera, I was like, okay, I can do this. This is gonna be dope. Yeah. Okay, wait, there was another question I had. Wait, let me see. Babatunde, what exercises are best for breath control for intermediate singers? Ugh. Okay, I'm not a big fan of answering technical questions just because, for a number of reasons. But something I do personally is I vocalize through a straw. And there are like two different schools of belief as far as like using a straw or singing through a straw, but it's something, I do a lot of exercises with straws, or that there's that game we used to play, well, depending on where you grew up, where there's like a little tube that you'd blow into, and it was a little basket that held a ball in there, and you have to blow just hard enough to like keep the ball like floating, but not if you blow too hard it'll fly away, or if you didn't blow, it didn't work out. Like playing with one of those also just helps you get like very familiar with your diaphragm and your breath and so on and so forth. And that's as far as I'm going to go of answering that, but I hope that was helpful. to some extent. Let's see. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. How many hours a week do you train, rehearse, and perfect your artistry? Is it over 80 hours? That actually depends on what time of year it is, because if I'm busy, like sometimes at my busiest, I'm in rehearsals for an opera while I'm learning a role for the opera I have after the one starting next, if that makes sense. Either way, just like constantly singing and, practicing and rehearsing for the show I'm in and getting ready for the next show can be a lot. And the thing about singers is we don't have the kind of instrument where you can just play for hours and hours and hours and hours, or like at the keyboard for hours and hours. We have to find other ways to practice and perfect it. So on a busy week, outside of rehearsals, well, no, I guess that all counts. I guess it's safe to say it's over 80, because if you're just singing nonstop and constantly going over the music, it's like it's kind of a tricky question to answer. But during the sometimes when it's like downtime, like some of the summers where I have like nothing going on, I'll probably I'll try, because the thing is, like, you have to keep your voice in shape. So I'll put in a few hours a week. What usually happens is I'm driving and some song comes on and it reminds me of another opera song and I'm singing while I'm driving. But no, sometimes I will like take out some songs, like I miss it, and take it out and put it in my music stand. That's my music stand, and just go through something. So 3 hours a week to 80 plus hours a week. That depends on what's going on. So yeah, how do you work out your hip opera songs? That's a good question. It's tricky because obviously people have already been asking me this question, and trying to figure out a concise way to answer has been a little trickier than I thought, because I think it's kind of like the chicken and the egg thing. They kind of happen at the same time. What happens most of the times, or like the first few times I noticed it, was when I would have a song stuck in my head, usually after rehearsal, and I'm driving, and I'm usually listening to some hip hop song, but I can't, and I think this is true for a lot of musicians, I can't just sing something while a different beat is happening. I can sing in one key while I'm listening to another key. I do a lot of new opera in LA, so yeah, I'm familiar with that. But like in different beats, that drives me crazy. So I'll just line up whatever opera song I have stuck in my head to the beat that's happening, and it happens pretty easily for me. And so, or I just like make it fit like to the beat, whatever. It's easy for me. And it's a lot of fun. So that's kind of what happens. And every once in a while, I'll do something like that, and I'll be like, wait, that's dope. And then that's when I decide to do something with that. And there's kind of a pile of those I have off to the side for later. But yeah, I think that's kind of what happens. So I don't know if that counts as like starting with the aria, or starting with because the rest of the question is, do you hear a hip hop song first and then think of the cadence of an aria, or the other way around? They just kind of like do that. That's kind of how I hear opera. Marie Stanley asked, what role do you want to play? Oddly enough, and I think I'm very fortunate for this, and I think I'm guessing I should change it, but that's not the case. I think I've answered this in a number of places, but my favorite role to do is always Escamillo. For a number of reasons. I like him for a number of reasons that I'm not gonna go into right now, but yeah, he's okay. I'll go into it a little bit. I feel most closely related to him personality-wise. I know that sounds worse than it is, and it's not. Like, hear that in the best possible way, please. And also, I also like the amount of. Okay, I'm kind of a lazy singer. And so I like how Escamillo kind of shows up, like, in the middle of the second act. Like, I don't like, sometimes, no, that's not true. But he shows up like way later on in the opera, shows up, completely stops the opera, and he sings this aria, and everyone's like, yeah! And he says, hey babe, how you doing? And then bounces, and that's it. And then he shows up again, fights the dude, says, hey baby, how you doing? Bounces. Shows up one more time, he's like, hey, I'm gonna fight this bull, baby. Peace. Bounces, and that's it. And he shows up at the end for the bow, and once again, and I'm like, hell yeah, I'm in. So I think I've been fortunate enough to get to do my dream role a bunch of times. Yeah, that's the one for me. Freaking Escamillo. Escamillo's from Carmen. Did I say that? Yeah, but either way, it's just easier to look. He's the bullfighter. He's the tour Okay, next question. What is the span of your vocal range? That's a good question. I'm not going to go get my keyboard right now, but I'm pretty sure I have a keyboard app on this computer because I'm a singer and it's 2019. Yeah, okay, cool. Here we go. Did I say computer? I meant tablet. You know what I mean. Doesn't matter. Okay. I actually start from here. I'll start from a C. Yeah, and that's like an A, and in an opera performance, I wouldn't sing anything lower than that because I have an entire orchestra making all this noise, and I have to sing louder than that, so yeah. Down to an A. I guess I would say a B flat is where I feel comfortable singing as an opera, and in an opera. As far as how high I can sing, my poor neighbors. It's okay, they're cultured now. It's by force. Let's see. Actually, I'll go for me. That's a B. Hey, I have a B. Mein mio mistero inchiuso in No, I'm not gonna. I should sing that. Nah. Okay. Anyway, ooh, more questions. Let's see. Scroll down. What are some of your musical influences outside of classical and hip hop? That's a great question. That's a question I don't get very often, and I think it matters for me because once and some of you have seen some of my interviews and seen how I came to music and the experience of like when I was 16 and realizing, like finally hearing harmony. And so it went back, long story short, I became a heavy consumer of just music. And so I spent some of my childhood in Houston, Texas, and my mom loves country music, but not like new country and not like old country, like, Reba McEntire, Dwight Yoakam, who else? Randy Travis, even like Kenny Rogers, even though that's further, but like a bunch of those songs, like a bunch of that music I listened to and I loved. It was around the time when I kind of fell off of country around what was that song? Bring me to Pina Coladas, whatever, the notes are wrong, but once again, I don't care. One for each hand, that song. I'm gonna kick off my shoes and run the bare feet with the grass and the dirt and oh wait, I just realized this is live. I can't edit this later on. Well, yeah, so country music too. What else? I listened to rock in that weird, like it was I want to say like 2002, around when Korn came out with Issues. That from like that time period, and like around that time I discovered, or personally, like System of a Down as well, and I got like hooked on that stuff too. And so there's like 3 System songs I don't know all the words to, and what else? There's a lot. That's a lot. I haven't come across a style of music that I like or that I hate. It's just what I'm in the mood for. Sometimes I'm more in the mood for some things. I've gone for like hour drive listening to like tube and throat singing or Bulgarian radio choir music. Like it's just if it's music, I like it. Unless it's like really, I like music. But yeah, would I consider touring? Yeah, I definitely consider touring. I have a lot of plans, and I'm not gonna get into it right now. But yeah, touring sounds fun, especially because I'm making so many new friends and people all over the country, and so I feel like people are gonna want to see me live or see me do these songs live. And this EP's coming. I came here to not think about the EP and get distracted, and now you guys are like asking me questions that's like, okay, making me think outside of these immediate questions. Wait, how high was I singing? I never answered that question. I can be a little scatterbrained. Fun fact. What was that? It was somewhere around the beat. So I don't like to hang out up there, but I have those notes when I need them for some random times. Come to Canada, come to Ottawa. Yeah, see, this is what happens. So yes, I need a tour. So that's happening. Okay, wait, what else? Let me scroll down a little bit. I'm forgetting some questions, leaving some questions out. Blah, 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 blah. What are some of your musical influence? Oh yeah, I answered that one. What role do I want to play? I remind you of Todrick Hall. I've been told that before as well. Yeah, he's dope. Okay, so that's been a little while, and I think I'm gonna go. Do I have any other questions I was gonna answer? Actually, not right now, because I don't want to make this like a long thing. Oh wait, I didn't think you can get any more awesome than you said you were into System of a Down. Yeah, I'm in a System of a Down. I also lived in Glendale for like 9 years, and Glendale, California. I'm not gonna get into why that's significant for System of a Down, but let's just say I like the music and the culture of Glendale. So yeah, I totally dug it. All right, I'm gonna take off, guys. It's been real. Thanks for hanging out. I sang already, Emma. You should have been here earlier. Sorry. All right, peace. Wait, how do I turn this off?